Hello everyone! In this tutorial I will show you how you can create footstep switches around your Unity game level using the Wwise integration. Before we start, I want to show you how I set things up in Wwise. As you can see, I have a basic switch container and different random containers inside of that. And these random containers also have numerous footstep sounds inside of them. As you can see, random containers are also assigned on their related surface types. For more information on how you can create switch containers and assign necessary objects to them, please check out AudioKinetic's official YouTube channel and watch their tutorials. Now, after creating this switch container, I also created a footstep event, which we will post when necessary to trigger the sounds. And we also need to set up a game sync. So that's all we need to do in Wwise. Now, if we switch to Unity, in Unity, first thing you need to do is find where your footstep sounds are triggered or where your footsteps are triggered in your scripts. So I'm using this first-person controller character, which you can download free from the Unity Asset Store. So this controller already has a script called first-person controller, and it also had the Unity audio integration written into the script. So what I did was I commented out or deleted all the references to the Unity audio engine and instead replaced that with the AudioKinetic sound engine reference. So what you need to do is find where your footsteps are happening, where your footstep sounds should be triggered, and add this line to it. Of course, we are using the PostEvent function here, so that's why we only need one line to trigger the sounds we need. As always, we're starting with the AudioKinetic sound engine, PostEvent, event name in string, footstep, and also the game object that the event is going to be posted, as you can see. So I've written this line in this progress step cycle in the first-person character controller script. That's all we need to do to post the footstep sounds onto our character in this game level. And the second thing we need to do is assign the necessary sound bank, which is the footstep sound bank in this situation, and drag and drop this to our character controller, as you can see. We want it to load and start, and the bank name should be correct. Now, when it comes to triggering different type of sounds related to different type of surfaces, you need to set up switch triggers. And you can set these up in numerous ways, but I'm going to show you how I did it for this tutorial. As you can see, I have various ground colliders here. I'm going to show you how I set the dirt type of sounds first. Here you can see the numerous colliders I set up to trigger the sounds. Let's check one of them. First, you need to create an empty game object and then put a box collider on it. Now make sure it is trigger. And the next thing you want to do is go into your switches in the Wwise picker and put the necessary switch onto it. In this case, we want it to trigger the dirt kind of footstep sounds and not the other ones. So that's why we chose the dirt. We also want this to trigger on AK trigger enter, and we also wanted to use other object. Now, to understand more about how collisions and triggers work on Unity, please try to check Unity's own website and you can gather more information about that. And this tutorial is not about that, so I'm not going to go too much in depth about it. But basically, you need to make sure that is trigger on trigger enter and it's using the other object and the switch name is correct. Let's see how we set up another type of collider for another sound. Here we have one type of grass. And as you can see, I have a lot of colliders. And like the other one, we put a box collider, make sure it is trigger, make sure it is triggering on the trigger enter, using the other object, and the switch name is correct. So of course there are other ways of doing this, like trying to see what kind of surface your character is walking on while using scripting. However, I am not a programmer, and this is how I set things up. So I'm only showing you how I went about it and how you can set up very basic footstep switches. So now let's test the system. This is the first type of footsteps. Now we're going to switch to one type of grass. Now we're going to another type of dirt. Another type of grass. Some more dirt. Switching between different types. And we are back where we started. So as you can see, the triggers are working perfectly. Admittedly, this is a bit tedious way of putting this into work, but you can just put a collider on an empty game object and then trigger it, and then just trigger the sounds using your Wwise switch. And then make sure the footstep event is posting onto your first-person character controller. This is all you need to do to start triggering and switching between different type of footstep sounds by using Wwise. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.